let's discuss the Lakers' free agency so far. Let's start with Wesley Matthews. This guy is a good replacement for Danny Green. He plays good defense, he's a good shooter, gives you everything Danny Green gives, except he's a little bit smaller, shorter, so he may have trouble guarding bigger wings. But he held his own against guys like Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. So I think this is a very solid pickup. Definitely a steal at the price that they got him. Really good rotational player for the Lakers. Now the next one, probably the biggest signing so far, except for Anthony Davis, of course, which 99% happening, but hasn't officially happened yet. So until that happens, this Montrezl Harrell is probably the biggest signing. So I think it is a good signing, very good signing, but it's not a home run signing like many people are making it out to be. There are definitely some concerns, especially on defense. He's a smaller big and has trouble guarding true centers. But at the same time, he's not very agile and has trouble guarding smaller players. His play fell off dramatically in the playoffs. He, of course, was dealing with the loss of his grandma, and also, he, along with the rest of the Clippers, seemed like he didn't want to be in the bubble. And postseason play is extremely important and not something to be overlooked. With that said, he is the sixth man of the year for a reason. He provides scoring, rebounding, and energy off the bench. And this will be extremely valuable in keeping LeBron and AD fresh for the playoffs. He, along with Schroeder, can carry the load while the superstars aren't on the floor, allowing them to get through the grind of a now 72-game season. The positives he brings to the team outweigh the negatives, especially when they have a guy like Anthony Davis, who can make up for his defensive woes. Hopefully they can sign another good defensive big to help take the load off AD and mask Montrezl Harrell's weaknesses. Let's move on to KCP. I mean, we already know what he can do. He was the third best player for the Lakers in the finals, if not the entire postseason. He brings that 3 and D. He will play a much bigger role throughout the season, especially now since Avery Bradley and Rondo are gone. I suspect he'll be given the assignment of guarding the opposing point guard most nights. But yeah, it's definitely great to have him back. Marc Gasol. It's been too long since a Gasol has been in LA. Yes, Marc Gasol is making his comeback. And no, I'm not getting him confused with Pau. If you remember, the Lakers actually had the draft rights to Marc Gasol, so technically he was a Laker and they were able to trade him for Pau. And now, Marc is back where he belongs. Even at this stage of his career, he's still solid on both ends of the floor. He can stretch the floor with his ability to shoot. He can score in the post, which is probably not going to be utilized very much, but still an option. And he is older, but I don't expect him to play many minutes. I think we mostly got him to match up with guys like Jokic, those bigger centers, and definitely to play aside Anthony Davis for the course of the season, so AD isn't bumping and grinding the whole season. It's all about keeping our superstars fresh. I'm hoping they're able to get a more athletic big since they're losing JaVale and Dwight, and that was a big part of their identity last year, being able to be better athletes than all of their competition. They are getting Jordan Bell. I think he's a pretty athletic dude, but he is undersized. I think that still needs to be addressed. So overall, I think this is a very, very good team, but it's also a new team. I think a lot of us expected this team to pretty much run it back with a few tweaks here and there, but no, this is a very different team. It's a short offseason, and I thought that continuity would be something that would give the Lakers an advantage, but yeah, that's out the window. I do think they are more talented than last year's team, but they're going to have to work on that chemistry. because last year was one of the best team chemistries I've ever seen. Last year's team was definitely special. I don't think they have to recreate that to win a championship, but it'll be nice, you know. LeBron's a good leader, and I think he could bring this team together. We'll see what else Rob Pelinka comes up with, but I think he's done a good job so far.